Right. Are we live?
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode. Our special guest today is Kasia, and she is going to tell us about her story around women's health and all about yoga. She's a colleague of mine, and she does yoga as well. She loves everything about natural living or living close to the nature. And one of her ideas was to open a shop. I will just introduce you slightly, which is going to be probably like what it was with natural products, yeah? Online shop you were looking to do.
We'll cover a few things, yes.
Okay. And Kasia, feel welcome. I'm so happy to have you here actually. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation. Just say to the audience who are you, what you do, how you enlighten other lives.
Hello, hi, welcome everybody. So whoever is watching, thank you. And thank you, R.A.D.K.A, for this opportunity. It's always amazing to be able to share and inspire other women. Um, so I also appreciate you, whoever is watching, for taking your time to come in and listen and learn more about you, your health. So welcome and thank you. So for me, it's all about awareness and being aware of your environment, of what we are putting into our mouth, of what's written on the label, of what your body is telling, tuning into your intuition, and also knowing yourself, the body, the vessel. Because as women, we operate according to our cycles. We're amazing. We're life creating creatures. So we have this cycle, and a lot of women are not aware of what's happening within them during the cycle period. So we operate week by week. Our body internally is changing. But anyway, I'm already getting really excited. But before that, we'll get to that. My mission is really to inspire and empower women. So brace yourself. I'm so passionate about how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself, how the way you look. Are you happy? Are you, what can you do to improve that? But also change. If you want to change anything, it will hurt. Change isn't comfortable because our brain doesn't operate like that. Our brain doesn't like changes. It likes to protect, it likes the fight and flight. Right, something is happening that I am unfamiliar with. So if you're bringing in and introducing some change, then you will experience some discomfort. So prepare for that, but it's fine. It's a journey and it's worth it. So, little disclaimer, I am not an expert. I am not a doctor. I am just a human being, not just, but I am a powerful human being, a woman that is here to inspire and maybe put a little drop from the ocean, vast ocean that I've learned from and share that with you.
Excellent. Okay. Would you like to tell us who are you, what you do, or what you used to do, and about your journey? What brought you onto the path that you become who you are today, and that you share that passion with the world?
Yes. So happy to share you. So before I tell you who I am, I'll tell you who I was, which is a big part, of course, of who I am. So I come from a very traditional and religious upbringing. And I had quite a lot of support from my family, from my parents, and a loving sister. We're almost like twins. But this came with quite a few conditions, which means maybe you can resonate with that. But I was told and I was taught what to believe, how to believe, what to believe in, what not to believe in, what is good, what is bad, which spiked the guilt factor within. So if you were doing something bad, then the guilt arose, and then the vibration was going down and down, the energy was going down. So for example, sex, the subject of sex, that was a taboo. It was something bad, no boys, no touching, no intimate, relationships allowed until you're married. So that in itself creates certain blocks within the body, especially the lower chakras. As we will find out later, they're energy centers within our bodies. So by the time I was 17, my belief system was pretty much established by the institutions, the schools, the churches, the family, friends, etc. And also my high school. I didn't enjoy that time very much. It was full of heartbreaks. It was full of feeling unworthy, feeling stupid. Didn't feel like I was belonging. And instead of dropping all that emotional weight, I was putting on more and more layers. And I felt like I had something to prove, like I'm worthy. I have something to protect, like my identity. I have something to hide, like my sexuality or my worthiness, like my authenticity. Or I have something to defend, which is again my religion, my belief system, and all these layers and layers and layers I was putting on and on. So I left the country. And before I made that decision, all of that building up that really motivated me to leave the school, leave all that familiarity, all that suffering, if you like, within. And it motivated me to go into unfamiliar. And I left the country and traveled to Texas. And I graduated from high school there. Obviously, English second language at the time. I was 17. My first flight, so far away from my family for a full year. New environment, new people, new culture, new belief system, new everything, which was a culture shock. Diet shock, because diet wasn't great, so the food factor comes in later. But it was liberating in a way, and I had to step up to prove maybe something to myself, that I am worthy, and to find that worthiness. So I spent a year in Texas, and fast forward, came back, wanted to study more in English. So I went to, packed 500 pounds into my pocket and came to England. And I worked for a year, applied to go to university, and then I met the love of my life just before.
Yeah, before you to continue, can I ask you which country you were originally from? And because you said home, where was home? And as
Sure.
well, yeah, when you decided to go to Texas, were you supported from your family, or was there a resistance? How was that decision made, met from your
Yes, great
parents?
point.
And yeah,
Sure. I was very fortunate. So I lived in Poland. I was born in Poland, Eastern Europe. And my parents could afford to send me to America. And my father was always, so it was part of my upbringing. In a way, it's good, but then it was quite challenging because my dad was always, you can do better, you can do better, you can do better. There was, so that this factor of not being good enough kicked in, but also the factor of pushing you into, you can actually do more than you're doing because you're not operating at 100% of who you could be. So I think balancing this, I am now at the point that I'm grateful for how he was to me, but I was at the point when it was damaging me as well. But I was fortunate enough for my father to be able to afford and send me to America to spend a year there. But he didn't have to pay for everything. I applied for scholarship, so I had funding. I achieved that, through my application and my abilities, and I spent that year with a family who hosted for me. So I had the food, I had the bed, I had all my washing product, everything for my body, whatever I needed to survive. I was pretty much their daughter. So my father just paid partially my tuition fees and some of the pocket money and my flight tickets, and everything else I organized. Again, I was so fortunate to be in that position. And then I came to England after I graduated. I decided to continue my education in English.
Was that again welcomed into your family? Like it was again supported that you want to move forward, and because some people
Yes,
are not allowed to go to study to another town. What about other country? You know, it's a whole new thing, and what fear around that. I'm just asking so that the listeners can understand a little bit
understand.
about the situation. Yeah.
Yes, it wasn't a problem because my father always treated me as a son and sort of go, go, go. And I also had a slightly older daughter, only a year and a half. We were like twins, and she stayed at home. So they weren't left alone. They still had another daughter around. And my father was, quite proud that he could tell everybody around him that he had a daughter who studied in America. And then,
Yeah.
so he felt like it was partially his achievement as well, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so I was brought up as ambitious person. So I earned money through working really hard in residential homes, caring for elderly, and earned money, went to university. And as I was about to start my journey in Scotland, I met my husband, Peter, who was constant. He was an angel, still is. We didn't get married until I graduated, and we had a distance relationship for 4 years, but it was absolutely worth it. He was in Germany at the time, but he was a life-saving godsend angel, like super amazing human being. So again, very lucky. I was 19 to meet someone I knew straight away I was going to marry, but he didn't ask me until 4 years later.
That's very good point. Sorry to interrupt you about I knew. That's what you said. I knew. You know, it is like when you know, it is just you know, yeah. Like when you know, and it is like how do you call it? Um, what make you feel it or knew it? Is it? I think I gave a clue here.
It's like this gut feeling, that
Yes.
you have. It's all in your gut. It's all in your gut, which we'll be talking about a lot.
Yes, yes. So
Love your gut.
you're strong on intuition. I know you because I have the opportunity to know you, luckily, and I know you're super strong on intuitions and all that topic spirituality. But I had the same feeling when I met my husband. Actually, the first time ever when I met my husband, I knew he was the chosen one. It was super awkward feeling, and but I knew it. You instantly know. I don't know how. You actually can.
Did did you
If,
experience that he knew as well, or as a guy
mm,
he needed a little bit more time to realize it?
I have never asked him actually about that, but there was a child. He was with one of his friends, and he was lifting a child. And I was inside because I was waitress and a barmaid at that time. I was making his coffee. And the restaurant where I was working was like a shape of a church, you know, those round shapes all around.
Mm-hmm.
And he was exactly in front of the front door, the entrance door, and he was lifting that child up. And for a moment, honestly, the white, it was like one of those visions, you know, of the angels where the white exactly shone on him, and he lifting that child, somehow I imagined, or even not imagined, I saw that he was lifting my child, our child, into the air, like enjoying the child. And it was so strong, feeling like, how they call it in English, epiphany, where all your body starts to fizz up, all your senses, antennas, the hairs, straighten up and everything. It was super strong feeling. And later on, we got married 3 years after that. I didn't know he was, I mean, I knew it, but it just happened to be, yes, later on. And that's really strange what you said. I knew it. It's like, how do
You
you
just,
know it?
it's
Just
not the knowledge, it's the knowing. It's something deeper. And as you were talking about that, Radka, it was so real, and I could feel I had goosebumps, and
exactly.
I can see your aura just sort of grew, and you lit up. It's like I can
Yeah.
see it, it's like the white around you.
And
It's amazing.
yeah, on our wedding day, there was, because we got married first in the UK, the first wedding. We have two weddings. The second is in Bulgaria in the church. But the first one, when we went to the register here, an English family, actually they are Scottish living in the in the England now. They took me to the altar representing my parents. We made the other wedding in Bulgaria because of the family. And another English family took him to the altar. And the one that were taking me, I slept in their home the night before. And in the morning, the lady, she said, the woman, she said, Radka, you feel so calm. She said, I have never seen another, bride feeling so calm going to get married. Usually people are excited or anxious or, nervous. She said,
Hmm.
how it came you're so calm? I said, because I know what I'm getting, who I'm getting. And I feel
I
ready.
can't
I feel
wait.
calm.
Yes,
No,
ready. I'm ready.
not that I cannot wait. Actually, there wasn't that excitement. Actually, I was feeling so sure, so confident that this is the man for me. This is my man. That I knew that whatever the journey was going to send us, we were going to handle it together, if that makes sense. I was actually
Of
feeling
course.
really strong, confident, centered, and this brought me so much calmness into me really that day. I
It's
cannot
a
explain it in any other way.
it's a beautiful story, and
Mm.
if we had another hour, I could share my beautiful story as well, with the light. And actually, it's my husband's side, so maybe we could have in the future a couples
I
podcast.
definitely I'm going to invite you in the future for specific like that yeah,
Yeah,
conversation.
hearing, opening up a little bit more, because I'm into tantra very deeply, and the sexuality. And my husband is like this light beam, and when he was telling me the story about how he felt about me, we actually met at my cousin's wedding, and his best friend, so they were getting married, and he was invited, I was invited. We didn't have a partners to come with, and Peter was describing me, that he saw me for the first time, in the church, where this light, the beam of light, was right on me. And he said, you looked like an angel in this dress with a bow at the back, like a present, like an angel that I could just, you know um, and when I was hearing him talk about that, again, goosebumps, excitement. So he knew then, but he didn't realize it until a few years later. But we started dating straight away, and university, boys, parties, nothing would be more important than nurturing this relationship, because it was absolutely. I felt like our souls knew each other for thousands of years, not just in this lifetime, and he believes that too. So, but just to carry on, that was a beautiful story to meet, to get married, and then we worked together. We had a career together in London. He's an architect, and I graduated with business management degree, and I worked with architects and with him for ever since I graduated. So we had a great career in London, doing great projects. And then it came time when I was ready to have children. But I didn't realize that I wasn't prepared to hear the message that I was only 4% chance. I had only 4% chance to conceive, which was shocking because I already had pretty healthy lifestyle. But now reflecting on that, my lifestyle was all about work. Work. I slept maybe 5 hours, and the rest of it was about work and achieving and career and all that. So I trusted. We spent a lot of money on visits to gynecologists, and I started digging in to the health. Why is that? How could that be? And in the meantime, alongside this story, Peter's mum had her fourth cancer, and just started treatment. So I'm thinking, right, I really don't want to lose my husband that soon, or not, to cancer or to any other disease. And genetically, it was, if we were relying on genetics, that was highly possible. So I decided preventive action. So what if prevention could be the cure? And I started digging in and learning, and I went through the series of The Truth About Cancer, and it opened my eyes, and it opened new avenues of learning. It was all about natural way of learning. And then I met a girl who was suffering with cancer, and then we were meeting regularly how she was battling. She was really, really advanced, and she, unfortunately, she was in her 40s and she died. But she was such a beautiful soul and so inspiring that she left only beautiful stories behind, and lots of people inspired. So she's done so much in her short lifetime. It's unbelievable. And on top of that, so we had my infertility, and then Peter's mom battling cancer. I decided, right, to take things in my own hands and not give up to the victim mode, and take responsibility for my health. So I adjusted my diet. I started reading about the hormonal, the balance, the system, how it works. And very soon, within a few months, I got pregnant, which was a miracle for me. I mean, the doctors were surprised, very surprised. Like, oh, okay, what happened here? I got pregnant, and then we had our first child son in 2016. But just before he was born, Peter's mom unfortunately died, and she couldn't meet him, which motivated me even more. I opened the Pandora box already. I was so interested in about the subject and learning prevention, the bringing body into homeostasis, Ayurveda, herbology. So, but that took time. It took years actually, since so step by step, I felt in the beginning, I felt a little bit overwhelmed. What is this term? What is this for? What is this? There's so much. You could feel overwhelmed by that. And again, when our son was one, we had a year of constant illnesses. I was pregnant again with the second time, which was great news, but I wasn't well in that pregnancy. I was experiencing, pains, cholestasis. I had meningitis, like lots of difficulties. My husband was getting ill frequently, and our son, when he was one, he had a post-vaccination reaction, and he ended up in hospital with Epstein-Barr virus, which I then learned and read up about more and more about that. So again, after a year of lows, in the meantime, my mom visited as well to help us, and she ended up in the hospital with burst also in her stomach. So I was pregnant, not feeling well, son in a hospital, a 1-year-old in a hospital, and then mom in a hospital as well, being here, and my husband feeling unwell. So a whole few months of thinking, right, we need to do something about that. And we did. That's when I decided to take the journey and learn yoga. That's when my yoga journey began. And it started with Tantra. We went away. We spent a couple of weeks living on the boat with 2 little children, babies running around in their nappies, breastfeeding still. And that was me and my husband and the family living there, practicing meditation, yoga, and learning about Tantra, shamanism, and just health here, the mental health state. And when we came back, that was early 2020. And when the COVID started as well, sort of early 2020, that's when I took the first course, Yoga 200, later on Yoga 300. Later on, that was just month after month, pretty much, or Ayurveda, couple of Tantra courses, and prenatal course. So course after course. And recently I've also done the 5 elements course as well, which was enlightening. And the ocean of learning is so vast. And I realized that this is just a drop, but still, for me, where I was to where I am now with my health, with my family's health, my husband being intolerant to numerous products, he's now pretty much able to eat everything or anything. My metabolic age is 30 and I am 37. My kids are healthy. My daughter has not taken any paracetamol, any ibuprofen since she was born, and she's been really super healthy. And she's only had 1 antibiotic course because she had an infection on her hand, and the infection had to be treated with antibiotic. That's one in her life, and she's 6.5. So few achievements here, but also with spirituality, I don't think you can put a measure. You can measure that. It's like aura growing, and I love to picture that in a way that you invite light in from above, below. You have a central sunshine within your heart, and you grow beyond your house, beyond your town, beyond the country, beyond the world, into the universe. It's just shining out. But that's how we grow. So I continue to learn. I listen to my body, and I'm more conscious about what I eat, what I drink, what I supplement, what I apply to my skin, to my hair, what I feed my mind with, what I learn intellectually and physically, what I do with my body. And all of that I combine into one, so I can talk to you now about maybe some food.
Yeah, I
The
just want to
diet.
say that you're the second guest I have. The other one is the Bulgarian, it was in Bulgarian language, who said that the food is not only what we put into our mouth, it is, as you said, the cosmetic on our skin, on our hair, what we read, what we listen to. It's a what more than just the food that we put into our body. Actually, the food is really a what more. It is a combination of the way we live. It is a lifestyle. I just wanted to reinforce this into English as well because
Absolutely.
it's super important. Many people think that the food is only what we feed the body with, but actually we are a lot more than the body. And you as an
Absolutely.
yoga,
We feed our mind
yeah,
with what you listen to. You feed yourself with the music you listen to, the tunes, with the conversations that people have. Do you believe what people say about you or not?
yes, the
This is
beliefs
the
as well.
food, the energy that feeds you, and it either brings your energy up or brings it down.
Yeah.
And it's a choice, but it must be a conscious choice. So we just want to build awareness around that. And once you're aware, you can always stop, because there's nothing worse than feeling guilty about doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I had too much of this. I had a sweet. I swore again. I said something wrong about this person. All of these habits that we all have. We're human beings because we have ego. We all have ego. That's what makes us a human being. Um, it's okay if you build awareness around it. The next time you can adjust it slightly.
Yeah.
You don't have to change everything about you right away, straight away, because that's just not possible. You're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. So what
It's
would
a
you
journey.
advise? Yes, if somebody make a mistake, so they should just ask a question maybe?
So first
What
first
can
of
I
all, was that a
change?
mistake? I wouldn't
Yeah.
call it a mistake. I would say to my children, it's not a mistake, it's a learning process. When you
Yeah.
fail, you learn. It's learning curve. So,
That's
and the child
excellent
needs to
point.
fall 100
Mhm.
times, maybe 101, and then it walks. If it didn't fall 100 times, it wouldn't walk. So unless you try, so the only failing happens if you stop trying. You're failing yourself, but try, and try. And this is this amazing book, Atomic Habits, which
Mm.
ended up in my house accidentally. It wasn't even meant for me. It was for someone else. And I read it and actually listened to it. And it's amazing. The short story is like you have a this 1% better today than yesterday. If you try to be a fraction, if you try to be aware of who I was yesterday, who am I now, what can I do today? One thing, one step towards being better, one breath, not a full meditation, not 20 minutes meditation, not an hour yoga, not not a full plate of salad instead of something else, but one thing today better than yesterday. You already, and then times that 365. I mean, come on. Yeah, 365%. No, that's not even a possible. Do you know what I mean? If you do that, because it's achievable, and you see, but you need to wait for the result. You need to wait for that, to take those falling steps 100 times, and suddenly that one final step is like 100% improvement. Like, whoa, how did that happen? Suddenly when you're trying to achieve splits or something physically, you're trying, and that one day when you're not expecting it, whoa, it happened. That, but it wouldn't happen. It wasn't that one day. It was the whole work that you
The
put
whole journey.
behind the
Yeah.
scenes, the whole journey.
Yeah.
And the journey doesn't end there. There is more.
This is when it starts. Yeah.
That's the journey.
Because
When
this is like, yes,
I
I
go,
just prove it that I can do it. Yeah.
of course, that's when you feel, right, I'm hungry for more, but it's a positive hunger for more. And that your energy is renewable. You can take your shoes off and go out on the grass for 5-10 minutes, hug a tree, and then feel like, well, so grateful to Mother Earth for just giving you that boost of energy so you can carry on. Even if you need to go out and crying is good, releasing.
Yeah.
So all about emotions, but if people want to take some notes, that's great, or pause and re-listen. But food, eating, what we eat, this is our energy, our fire. So we take care of our fire, digestive juice, the Manipura, the solar plex channel, the chakra. And this is our second brain here, what's happening in our digestive system. So it's good to tune in and listen to your body. Is this good for me? Is this nutritious? Is it giving me energy or is it draining me? The best example is something like KFC. Occasionally, I will have KFC, like maybe twice a year if my son wants some I don't treat it as a treat, but okay, and I bite and I have a little bit and I notice and I said to my husband, did you notice I got angry after eating that? I got furious, angry. I started, shouting at my kids for no reason, and then I'm aware. Now I'm aware about that. Like, okay, I don't think I want to eat KFC now because I don't feel like being angry with anybody. So I just go for alternative, whatever, salad they have. But I have a very, very close relationship with food. I have lots of images where I slice something and there's a heart, or there's a smiley face, or I think I showed you those, Radka.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I should have probably prepared here to show some, but I didn't. So yeah, whenever she's cutting vegetables, inside the mushroom or the celery or the apple, there is a proper heart or smiley faces. It's
It's
so unique, absolutely amazing.
it is amazing, and it's so real.
Yeah.
It's actually unbelievable. I might be able to find the smiley face for you because there you go. Can you see the
Yes,
radish?
yes, I can. And that's not
So
made up.
it's the
That's really like
that
real,
it's
real.
not made up. It's not made up. I mean, look at the garlic.
Yeah. I don't know
It's
how you do that. It's happened only to you. I haven't met
it,
anyone else who have this magic within.
I have. I mean, this is a leek, just cut through leek.
Yeah, heart.
Um,
Yeah.
a little heart inside. I pay so much attention to these. I mean, and this is a mushroom.
Yeah, I
Look at the
know. I
little
really like.
cheeks, Yeah, and there's more. I've just this looks literally like a face and a nose. It just cracked walnut with a heart.
Yes.
That was randomly in the restaurant. And lots of other hearts. Heart on the skin, like onion skin heart, the mushroom heart. Um, I'm just paying attention to them, and I love it. Yeah, so food is really, I have this relationship and I treat it as a fuel, as energy, and I appreciate it. I try to sit with my legs crossed when I eat because it opens up, it helps how your gut, intestines are settled properly. So happy food, high vibe, and then, the other processed food, low vibe. I would say 80-20. You probably heard this term before, but 80-20 is like 80% of the time super healthy, happy, and I'm happy to say no. And when I decide within me, and it's not a diet, because I don't like the word diet, because diet is not sustainable, it's not something that lasts, but it's a lifestyle. If I decide within me that I am doing this, and then 20% I enjoy wine. I love learning about wine. I appreciate wine. I hold it with both hands and I really appreciate where the grapes are coming from and the story behind it. I like good wine and I would love to have vineyard one day. Uh, so I I like that, and I enjoy food. I like to make pizza, or I like to go out and not question too much if we decide to, go and see our friends and they're cooking for us. Then, once you decide and within yourself that you love yourself, you decide that you're healthy, and you confidently say it to your friends and out to the world, you send that message. You don't have to beg your friends to cook for you, a meal that is nutritious. It just happens. You go there, you don't expect it because they're not very healthy, but because we're going over and thinking, wow, this is amazing. You made so much effort. Like, yeah, no problem. Whereas before, it would be a problem when I'm thinking, well, like, because my husband, he loves any kind of food. And coming from Eastern Europe, we like potatoes, brown food, yellow food, dumplings, lots of meat, lots of that. And then maybe a little bit of cabbage on the side. Love cabbage. So when you decide within yourself that I'm going to love myself, going to love my body, going to treat myself with respect, what I put into my body, then you don't have to say it to anybody else. If you go out, it just naturally happens. They do it for you. Just it's amazing. So we just have to take care of our fire element, the digestive Agni, the digestive juice, the center of our willpower and confidence. That's the chakra here. And then we move on into drinking. What do we drink? It's super important. We spoke about wine, the important stuff.
Red or
And
white?
I'm more white. I think I'll move on to red next, but I'm learning more. I'm more about white at the moment. But red is coming. So I want to show you something. So this is my water. Okay, water element. I'll show you. This inside, this black thing. Oh, and the crystal. It's charging. It's charging. Wonderful, isn't
Yes.
it?
Mine is coming ready like that. Mine is with a what? I
Is it
forgot.
quartz?
That's the one, quartz.
The quartz,
Oh,
the
like
master. Yeah,
yes.
the master crystal, the quartz. If you don't know, like crystals, that's another love of mine. But if you don't know which crystal to connect with, then just go with quartz first. It's a master crystal, and then take it from there.
That
But
was my first crystal you saying that, which is super now. I didn't know, but that was the first crystal I bought. And now, if you know how
and
many
now
crystals.
your collection grew. Yes, I mean,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest, I did bring some crystals here to talk about, but I don't know if
Hamburger.
we will have time. But going
We
back to
will, we
water,
can always do another session on different stuff.
absolutely, because there's so much, and I don't want to
Yes.
take too much of people's time. But what you can do with water, we are 75%, at least roughly, water. And some of us hold more, some of us less. And water is like this yes element, and it's about emotions, but it's also agreeing to things. It's about our feelings. So it's the second chakra. And it's about flowing, the creation. And it's super important where it comes from and what we think. And water has consciousness because it's been proven. It was frozen, and they made an experiment in Japan, I think, where they froze water, and before they froze it, they put it into two vases, and they got people to touch the vase and think positive, loving thoughts. And then they got people to touch the other one, and they thought anger, fear, hatred, all the negative, low vibe stuff. And they froze it, and they looked under a microscope and the molecules and how it behaved. And the loving one had these beautiful snowflake kind of mandala, beautiful patterns. And the angry one was like, the spikes, the angry stuff that you see in cartoons. It's just unbelievable how the water behaves within us. So what I do also is I put intention. You can put intention on your water. So for today, because of the purpose of this talk, I put focus, love, connection, and clarity. So cheers. So that's for you. Water is super important to remember to drink. Yeah. And celery juice, that's another one that a lot of people may have heard from the medical medium book. You can just Google medical medium and listen to some podcasts, and he can explain more about that. But I juice my celery, especially now this time of year, like April, May, June. I do like 3 months of detox cleanse with that alongside my intermittent fasting. So I tend to eat around 10, 11, and I finish eating about 6, 7 p.m. And I've been doing that for years, which gives my digestive system a little break. And you can also read up on the benefits of intermittent fasting, and it's incredible. At least a lot of people would disagree or that you have to stimulate your metabolism by eating. But it's not necessarily true, because it is true that you do stimulate your metabolism by eating, but you also need the rest point where your digestive system needs rest to readjust. And when it's not wasting energy, 80% of your energy on digesting, it can take care of everything else in your body. So it's fantastic. It's something to look into.
I think that many people underestimate the rest, not only in eating, but as well in exercising, the rest from work, the rest from generally the rest. And I think this is
Absolutely.
excellent point that you said. I wasn't fasting for until 2 years ago actually. For first time I started fasting, and fasting I accept it as giving a rest to the body, changing the diet. Our fasting is for, let's say, 4 to 6. This year it was 7 weeks, removing everything from animal, becoming completely vegan. And if you want to fast the last 3 days, you're only on water, which is I haven't tried that yet. But doing yoga, when I increase my yoga movement, asanas, practice during the day, I can eat twice a day or once a day. I just don't need to eat food, which is really interesting, to be honest with you. Like if you look at it at that way, you burn energy, but at the same time you don't need to replenish it. It enlightens you somehow, keeps you as well full. It's really
Yes.
interesting.
Yes, you just need to listen to your body, and also know with Ayurveda, it really helps to realize what constituency you are, what body type you are, and what can you do to balance your elements within your body, because we're not all equal. Like I said, we have, more water or fire, so might be more pitta. We could be like vata, to have more space and air within, like airy and spacious. I tend to bloat as well, so that's my vata here for you. And then the kapha element, the water and earth element. Like my husband, he stores a lot of water, but he needs to drink 3 times as much as me to go through the day. But he also drinks coffee. I don't drink coffee, which doesn't mean I love the smell of it. I like to apply it to my body, but I never got into a habit of drinking coffee. And coffee dehydrates the body as well.
Yeah.
So it might be that element, but since we're still in the drink element, what I wanted to share with you is cocoa. So the
Oh,
ceremonial cacao
ceremonial cacao.
is absolutely amazing. I'm not advertising any particular company here. It's just one that I bought. But it's amazing. It boosts your energy. It gives you like this alertness, and it elevates your mood, and it's rich in serotonin, like this feel good factor, and it regulates your appetite as well, which is good for losing weight
Is it
and
what you
sleep.
take?
This is
What you drink?
yeah, so ceremonial cacao. I do. So you can prepare it in a ceremonial way when for meditation. But because I don't drink milk, cow's milk, or I try to avoid lactose, I'm not 100% lactose free, but I try to avoid it and minimize it. But cacao, sometimes I put in my kefir when I feel I need to, I need to add a little bit more good bacteria in my body. Then I'll just put in my kefir, and then I put some blueberries on top, or some fruit, and I eat it. I put it into baking, or I'll drink it.
Can I
This
ask you, is that the dust or is it the chunks?
this is granules, and these are granules.
Okay.
So I put it into baking as well, and it tastes amazing.
Okay.
It's not. Sometimes it can be quite sour, and this one
Mm-hmm.
isn't. It's a proper. It's wonderful. I tried 4 other, but I really love this one. It's worth investing in.
I'm asking you because I as well work with ceremonial cacao, and I have the chunks. It's the raw product, the very big
Yeah,
chunks.
and then you grate
I
it,
can
or
grate it, or I can put it into a machine to convert it into a dust,
Mhm.
or I can cut it. And I was just wondering because I know that they sell as well the, you know,
powder.
the powder. That's the one. That's the word I was looking for. The powder. And I have tried different cacaos, by the way. Like there is one that is a bit nutty, and there are two others. But with the cacao, I would like to say to the listeners that there is, if somebody has histematic reaction,
Histamine.
his,
Oh, histamine. Okay.
like the histamine, like allergic reaction towards pollen,
Allergic
or
reaction. Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
it can increase your the body can taking the cacao can increase that to you to be more prone. And actually, even if you I didn't know, but I actually have it. Once I have the cacao, my cheeks become very red, my nose start to leak. It's like such a reaction because the histamine rise into the body naturally. And I bought mine from a nutritional person who is a official nutritionalist, and she told me that those are reactions of the body, so I need to use it into a less quantity rather uh, quantity, rather than big
Yeah.
dosage, so it can be otherwise harmful for me. And one more thing I wanted to add for it is that yeah, if people take antidepressants, they need to be really careful. Even they
Really
have
careful
to
with
avoid,
anything.
yeah, with antidepressants specifically, I think they have to avoid it because it can interact with them. Just make a research before you actually go into the ceremonial cacao,
Absolutely.
particularly. It's really pure and strong. I love it. I honestly love it.
Hmm.
I love
It
to
is
put a
amazing.
hint
My
into.
friend, she's got fibromyalgia.
Mhm,
It's a horrible state. It's basically your body is in pain, and
mhm,
your blood results, your test, everything is perfect, but you're still in pain. It's unexplainable pain. Basically, it's fibromyalgia, and she's extremely healthy, but she's now trying. So she stepped away from drinking coffee and moved on to drinking cacao, and she's done it for, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks now, and she says she's feeling she doesn't need coffee. She doesn't need to sleep during the day. Whereas before she really needed to sleep at least half an hour, if not an hour a day. Now she doesn't need to sleep, and she's off coffee. I'm not saying coffee is bad, and coffee is amazing, and some people love it. They swear by it as their ritual, but it could be a great alternative, or at least sort of, maybe every other cup. um, but like you said, I wouldn't drink it more than 1 cup a day, and try with a minimal dose, or
yeah,
maybe do it twice a week
yeah,
first,
yeah.
if that
Yeah.
works for you.
I love that cacao because what it does actually, it makes you, it's a little bit, I think it's classed as a hallucinogen. No, what it's called? I always
Yeah, it
forgot.
just elevates your mood. It takes you to this happy, feel good
Yeah, because it releases certain
state.
hormones that are released when you're super relaxed and super happy, and it actually helps you if you start journaling. It can help you to journal and even later on to manifest those ideas, they to come
Hmm.
into reality. It has this effect, and it's really good. It has so many good
I
things.
would add also it's 40 times more antioxidants
Mhm.
than blueberries. It's high in plant-based source of non-heme iron, full of magnesium, good for your heart and brain. It's got more calcium than milk, and uh, it's a natural mood elevator. It also says natural antidepressant.
Yeah,
So, like you said, it's wonderful. I wouldn't overdose on that.
yeah,
That's But it's maybe something for people to consider, read up on, and try for themselves a little bit and see where it
yeah.
takes them.
can I just share the dose when you said it will finish? It's usually they recommend 10 to 15 grams a day for like a cup of cacao. But if you want to go into, when I do shamanic practice, because I do it with it, or a special yoga ceremony, it's 42 grams per cup per person allowed maximum. And this is if everything is okay, like the person is healthy, no side reactions or anything. And this is when it actually really take you into that deep state of meditation and really higher consciousness. It opens up. You feel super. I have experienced that. It feels great. I just wanted to ask you, how do you drink yours? Because I prepare mine with oat milk or almond milk or coconut milk, and sometimes with water only. Do you do yours only with water or?
I do it mainly with water only. If I boil it, to have it hot, water only. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of um, not sweetener, but maybe maple syrup. I know it's not advisable, but just for me, it depends how I feel. But mainly with water, or I would sprinkle it on my kefir, or I'll bake with it.
I put
So
chili
I take it in different forms. I could put it straight away, sprinkle
chili
it on.
powder. Chili powder. Oh my God.
That's my
Give it a
chili
try.
powder. This is my so chili and cacao. That's
Yeah.
your night. That's
It,
your proper night out.
I put chili, black pepper, cinnamon, and like a rose. There is a rose syrup if you want it sweet to add a bit of a sweetness, but chili is my favorite to put inside, and it's never chili enough, if I
Never
can
chilly
say
enough. And
so.
then you'll have a one, and then plan, put some nice lingerie on because it's going to be a fun night.
This is when I make it for the people. When I do a
Mhm.
ceremony, like a group with it, I always add that's my secret ingredient, the chili. But nobody have ever complained, which is good. Yeah, and that's it in general. Share us with us something else. What else have you prepared?
Okay, so for drinking, lots of drinking, but chamomile tea is great, antioxidants as well, for good for relaxation and sleep. I've got a wormwood, which I
Mm.
dried myself and I store it, so it's good for detoxifying your blood. It's antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, relieves Crohn's disease, and Crohn's disease is a problem with your in well, the digestive system. My grandma actually died having a Crohn's disease, and others as well. But and it really aids your digestion. It lowers your arthritis pain, and it's very bitter. So bitter is very good for your blood. So wormwood, but what you need with wormwood is very interesting. That much in a half cup of water, and it's going to be bitter,
Mhm.
like really bitter. So I would put 2 or 3 of those. I'll put half a cup of water, a full cup of water, let it, and then I'll drink it down. And I'm okay with it now, but in the beginning it was quite hard. Now on the market, if you go onto Amazon or somewhere you try to buy wormwood, you will have the stems, mostly stems. These are purely leaves. They're organic from my mom's garden. But you have purely stems, which are okay, but you'll see the difference, and it's worth having. The lemongrass relieves anxiety, prevents infections, boosts your oral health, and it relieves you from bloating. So, and it smells divine, and
Mm.
it's just beautiful. The lemongrass is really worth having in your cupboard. The lotus flower, that's again something that you can add to your cacao or to your ceremonial stuff. The lotus flower is beautiful, it's gorgeous. It's also anti-inflammatory. It helps with fat loss because it contains chemicals that break down fat tissues, and it helps you glow for glowing skin. So It's and it is used in ceremonial rituals as well, and spirituality. This one I brought from Greece. It's dictamus, but it's from the family of oregano. And oregano is a natural antibiotic. It's wonderful. It's natural painkiller as well. And it relieves nausea. If you feel like you need to vomit, this is good for you as well. And it's great for your stomach pains or anything like that.
We cook
What
pretty
else?
often with oregano. Yeah, we put it on
Yeah, so
potatoes and meat and all sorts, salads.
yeah, I have a whole basket of oregano that is ready to harvest and dry. And but it's amazing to just grab a spoon, put it, and you can boil it for a while, or you can just have it as a tea. It's wonderful. Your green tea, immune booster. Yeah, we know with green tea, not everyone is happy with green tea. There's so many different types, but it also controls your blood sugar level and your metabolism. And because of that, it will reduce your the risk of any heart disease or diabetes. So it's great to consider and have it maybe first half of the day, because although it says it's calming, it's calming, but it keeps you awake. Calm but awake. So better to have it first half of the day. I'll share just a couple more. This one, marshmallow, leaf, and root. And with licorice, this is like a combination of quite a few. You can see it's a combination. So this is all great for your digestive system. And it's got fennel as well. And fennel, it helps with nutritional absorption. So if you have malabsorption, you can check your nails. So if on your nails, if you have quite a lot of like white lines, then you may have some issues with malabsorption. But fennel could be, one of the herbs that could help with that. And we have the marshmallow and mallow flower, which is great for your throat. So if you have a dry cough, it's wonderful for digestion, good for your teeth, and if you have an upset stomach. And it also tastes a little bit sweet, like licorice. Licorice is like quite sweet, so it could be a natural sweetener as well. And it helps with the water retention, so to reduce that. So if you feel like you're swollen, it's nice to drink that, and then it will help you go to the toilet a little bit more, have a wee, and just lose that excess of water in your body. And the
What
same
was
with
called that? What was called?
So that's marshmallow.
The marshmallow.
Leaf,
Okay, yeah.
marshmallow leaf and root. And that's in combination with fennel.
With fennel, yes.
But if you just buy fennel itself, I also give it to my daughter. If your tummy hurts, just have some fennel, and it's amazing. And I have hibiscus flower, these beautiful, gorgeous hibiscus flowers that make you feel like you're on holiday. If you type in hibiscus, and they are reddish. So when you put them in the water, it's pink, but it's quite soury. It's got soury taste, but it's a wonderful natural antioxidant. And it fights your inflammation. It also helps you go into the toilet. So if I have for a couple of cups of this tea, I'll be running to the toilet twice as much, just to sort of get rinse things through. It lowers your blood pressure. So maybe if your blood pressure is too low, maybe read up on that, because it calms you down even more. But it does promote weight loss as well, because of the running to the toilet. But it's more about weeing, and it fights bacteria as well. So it's good for your liver health, which is great, especially in the second half of your cycle, when your liver is, trying to get rid of certain things. That's your sort of detox phase. When you're entering into PMS, your liver is trying to get rid of all that wonderful estrogen that made you feel wonderful during the ovulation. So it's good to give your liver a little detox and help with chamomile tea maybe as well, and I'll just go on to the final one, although I just took out a few from my cupboard. But calendula, you'll find calendula. These are lovely flowers, but these are antifungal. So if you have any problems on your skin, any fungal around your nails, toenails, like between your toes, or it prevents infections. And if you have any sort of injuries to your body tissue, it's very good in healing for your body. And like honey is also great for healing. So if you mix that with honey and wrap it around for a moment, it's like, well, you don't need to go to the
I have a
pharmacist.
question for this. So would you do it into a tea tincture and then mix the tea with honey and apply it, or would you just the dry flower
I would
with
do
honey?
a paste. I would just do a paste. You can use, the what's it called, the stone.
Yeah.
And you could mash it
Morton
a little
and
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
you
it's
can
called.
do that. You can add also
Mash it
the
with what? Mash it with water or with honey or
mash it alone. So the stone, the
yeah.
stone bowl. I can't
Yeah,
remember
the
what it's
bow
called
and
now.
the
Yeah, we
potato.
know what it is. that one. We foreigners, we know.
Yeah.
We're very professional. So you just smash it, and mix it with. You create a paste. So you
Okay.
can apply it, like common sense. You just apply it to your wound,
Is
to
that
heal.
with dry calendula or as well with fresh
Yeah,
one?
yeah,
With
yeah.
dry.
Well, I've got a dry one. And the same with chamomile. I would drink it dry, but with mint, for example, you can drink mint dry and fresh.
Yeah.
Like with oregano, I would prefer. You can put fresh into your tea or water, of course, but I would have it dry, or I'd put fresh on my salad, just
Yeah.
like that. But calendula, you can, there are so many edible flowers that you can just pick from your garden and eat it. Even the flowers from your rosemary, the flowers, when the chive is overgrown, it's got beautiful blue flowers at the end. If you pick them, you sprinkle them on your salad, they look beautiful. And here's your chive. So many things that we can,
So you can drink the calendula as a tea as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Because
do.
I have it into my fridge, a special ointment with calendula and pig fat or a fat and other ingredients inside. And I mix it. It's a bit of on the pan. And then when you remove it, it's great for cracked heels or very dry heels. As you said,
Exactly.
those
Yes.
special, anything around the skin. So I have it
Anything
ready.
around the skin.
Yeah.
For baby's bottom, it's natural. For
Yes.
drinking, I wouldn't drink it alone. I would just mix it. I would create, I would create like a mix of herbal tea recipe. And just moving on to some hormonal balance or disbalance. I have few things that I sort of prepared from Ayurveda. I took these from Ayurveda. I never knew they existed before, and I wish I did before I had children. It may have helped me, or during breastfeeding. But we have Shatavari. So Shatavari is amazing. it reduces the symptoms of menopause, and it helps with the polycystic ovaries and infertility, which is what I experienced. It just generally balances the hormones, and it increases the prolactin hormone, which increases the breast feeding and the milk production. So my sister, she had problems with breastfeeding with one of her breasts. The baby wanted to breastfeed just one breast, which is not uncommon. And then she got an infection on the other one because it got stuck. So and then she had to stimulate because that breast wasn't stimulated enough. So when she got rid of the infection, and during treatment, I said to her, try Shatavari and see how you feel. It was amazing. The baby started feeding on both breasts, and then the flow was great, and she felt good as well.
That's really
the other one is Agnus castus. And again, it works with the PMS syndromes, and it relieves the pain when you are premenstrual. Sometimes you have pain in your breasts, and that can help to relieve. And also the moodiness, so that along with the cacao, and you're you're sorted for your PMS, but it's good for anxiety and managing your anger as well. And if you have any headaches or tension, so I'm not really advertising any companies here, but that's how you spell it. It's Agnus castus. And this is Chatvari. And the other one is Triphala. And Triphala is amazing for your skin, for your digestion. It's good for detox and for your eyes as well. Triphala. This is what I'm taking now. And I believe when I started this, when I started reading up on these a little bit more, thinking, oh, I did have PMS. I did feel moody. And my periods were quite heavy and painful. And I was losing a lot of blood. And I had headaches. And my periods before, they were quite irregular. So I did I applied these. I can't remember how I did it, but I think I did Shatvari and Agnus castus in combination, and then I did Triphala separately. And also ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is I think, just a number one Ayurvedic sort of herb or a supplement that you can take, your husbands or partners, men, women, can take, because it's wonderful. It sort of balances your cortisol levels, lowers your anxiety. You can take it before sleep to help you sleep. You can take it in the morning to help you be more alert, because it just puts you into balance. With men, it boosts testosterone and also helps to increase the sperm count. If anyone is trying for, because it's sperm count. Yes. So
to be careful to use it if you don't want more babies.
Well, if you combine that with, let's say, Shatvari, so you take Shatvari ashwagandha, and your husband goes for or your partner goes for ashwagandha, see what happens. Because
see what unfolds.
See what happens. Go for cacao with some chili in it.
Ooh.
And here is your wonderful ritual for, creating, hopefully, possibly creating new life.
Yeah.
If that's your intention,
yes.
and if that's what you're trying. So I know how hard and daunting it could be when you're in the position when you feel, I can't. I'm trying and I can't. But you believe me, you haven't tried everything. And my sister has been told for 30, she's 38, 9. Yeah, for 37 years, she's been told she can't have children. She tried in vitro, she tried clinics, she tried drugs, everything. Well, so she said, everything. But I've been with her on that journey, and she just gave up. And at some point, what I also do during my journey, I also paint energies. So that was my first painting during meditation. So I just paint energies, and whatever I see in my meditation, I paint it. And these colors are more with the higher chakras. And then I did one with my daughter. So this is my 6.5-year-old / me creation. So we did that together. And that really helped my daughter with how she expresses herself. She's only 6.5. And it was amazing. When she was painting that, she was angry. She was screaming. You wouldn't believe what was happening with her. I was just observing what's happening. And then, and that's when she released it all. And she's never been like that since. That was the last time I've seen her not being able to manage, because being emotional is amazing for anyone. Children know how to naturally release it, but she's never really been back to this this mode of uncontrollable, this where she felt I can't stop, I'm crying, I can't stop. She can feel now, but I've noticed as a mom, I've noticed great change after we've done that. There's one I've done for the heart chakra, which is green / pink.
They're so beautiful. I have never seen them before.
So this is the first time I'm sharing them. I don't think I've shared them with anybody before except my husband. And if someone comes to our house, then sometimes I have them here, otherwise they're on my altar. But I did paint one for my sister about 3 years ago. And I gifted that to her. It was orange and red for the lower chakras. And I framed it. I gave it to her as a gift, thinking, just painted it with a loving intention. Whatever needs to heal in her life, let it heal. And I left it there. I don't interrupt the universe for deciding what, or for that person to decide what needs to happen in their life. I just send love and whatever blessings they need to receive. That's it. And she got pregnant. She now has a 15, 16 months old daughter.
That's so beautiful.
I'm not claiming it's because of the painting, but it's a lovely, lovely coincidence, and it feels wonderful that whatever. So going back to women feeling hopeless or helpless when they're trying to conceive and they can't, and they feel like they've tried everything, anything, and there's this one window of opportunity in that month, and then the test is negative, and then they have to wait again, and that anticipation, it can be draining, it can be horrible, and I've been there. But there are things you can do, and it's not just supplements. It's again what you feed your mind, it's what you feed your body, what you do with your body, like certain yoga asanas that you can perform for your hip opening, for your emotions to release, for your traumas to release, digging into your, like, working in. I'm not calling it working out, but I like to call it working in. It's amazing. So see what you can do. There's always more you can do for yourself. Listen to yourself. Listen to the advice that your inner guru has for you. And there's so much you can do. And I realize I'm conscious of the time. We took it further. There's so few things that I would love to share and go into, but I think I'll leave it here.
We will do another one, probably another few, because there are so many topics we can discuss, and it was super, super interesting. I know Kasia Kasia from the course of Tantra. This is where we met. This is where our paths crossed. I have been on Tantra course twice, and I met you on the second round, I think. Yeah, it was the second round.
Yeah.
And then, due to my journey as a coach, I was looking for people to coach, and I designed that program, Cash in the Passion, for a certain small community, and Kasia came into it. And I'm so fortunate that she said yes, that you said yes, because then our journey crossed on a more depth. On the course, we know each other online, just a little bit here and there. We scratch the surface, but once we get into a deeper, into another side, we go so deep into. And yeah, thank you so much. Actually, this is how I get to know her and her spirituality, a lot more about her. And I invited her to become a part of my new chapter about inspiring
R.A.D.K.A, thank
others.
you so much. I appreciate this
Yeah,
opportunity. And yes, I love to empower, inspire, but I also I had to get out of my comfort zone. This is my
yeah,
first time sharing my stories, my herbs, my what I know so far, and I really hope I've managed to inspire and empower some women to look into some some possible changes that they can make, small changes to taking small steps and then achieving big results.
yes. Do you know, I have never shared, but the whole idea of that new podcast journey, which is every month it will have different topic. This month it is topic around food, our journey, our personal story around food, is exactly to bring people who have businesses, who are confident, or people who want to start or are just starting. They have the knowledge, they have their story. Actually, it's not about the knowledge, it's about the story, where they have been, what they have done so that they can improve. And just that story to inspire and empower and motivate the world, they to take even the small step that you said to give them that big result that they're aiming for. This is the whole idea behind of that new podcast series. And I do them in both languages, English and Bulgarian, and every episode will have subtitles so that it can be translated into any language. I know that the people who listen, they will listen to the original language, but those who would like to watch on the YouTube, the aim is the world to be more, enriched, more empowered, if you want to say it. Yeah, what I wanted to ask you is, I don't have any questions. We don't have anybody into the room today to ask you questions. I just wanted to, yeah, what I wanted to say, I think this is it so far. Just I want to thank you. I'm just recalling inside if there is anything I want to ask or to add to, but I really, yeah, I actually now realized what I wanted to ask you, because something I was going
Okay.
to come and I forgot it. Now I realized it. Do you work with the community in any way? This is my question to you. Do you work with individuals or one-on-one? And um, is there any way you support the community, or you would like to do that, to start doing it in the future? Because some people, they still haven't started or they have paused at the moment. So what are your intentions or plans, or do you work in any way as well? What do you offer as the services? This is what I wanted to ask.
Right. So I didn't mention in the beginning, I forgot to mention where I'm from. But I said I have a brand which is called Farm of Balance.
Mhm.
And within Farm of Balance, what I offer at the moment is one-on-one yoga advice, or it could develop into anything that we were talking about. If anyone would need some advice, could be consultation or teaching yoga, group yoga sessions. I would like to take it farther with the Farm of Balance. I have lots of ideas in my head, and I am hoping that the community will grow into an online based one, because at the moment, what I do have is the people around me and the yoga ladies, the friends. friends of friends that I can support, or even random women. Usually women come to me when I brush my hair and dry my hair in the gym, and they say, oh, your hair is so wonderful, how did you achieve that? And then I go, well, and then the conversation starts. Castor oil, triphala, ashwagandha, some other antioxidants that I feel I can share with them, or they're willing to take. So this is my community at the moment, helping friends, family, my husband, and learning more. But taking it to online-based audience would be much easier, and then I could reach out and help more people who could benefit from what I know.
Yeah, I know that you have a website, so if you want to share it, or any links and emails, I'm saying not only emails, I mean any links. It can be for Calendly or the website or Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want. Yeah, even a YouTube channel if you have. Feel welcome to pass it to me, and I'll put it into the description of this video. I always say that at the
It
end.
would.
Yeah.
I think with that, I'm happy to share, and also I think it would be beneficial to spell and write some of the Ayurvedic herbs and that we were discussing today. So the spelling, so people can learn more about them.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that if you can give me the spelling of all of that so that I can put it into the description what we talk about.
Absolutely,
You
we
can
do
even
that
give
and
me the
prepare it.
name and a little bit like what it does. Just a little description maybe what it helps for. And I will put it into the description, and as well any links you would like me to add, I will add so people can go and follow up. I will do that in the next week because I'm a little bit, believe it or no, internet restricted, even though it went smoothly so far, for what I'm super grateful. I'll check after that recording if everything went smooth,
That's
but
fine.
I hope so, yeah. And yeah, that's it
I
from
think we
us
can
so
just
far.
be very grateful to our audience for listening,
Yeah.
and tune in next time. Who knows what we'll bring to the room?
Yeah.
And then every little bits and bobs that you require, we will tidy up with R.A.D.K.A, and you'll be able to read down below, I suppose.
Yes, down below. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today or listening to this podcast. And I will see you again soon, next week. Bye.